Good evening, everybody. Uh, my name is Rock Dikuna. I'm the chairperson for IIRSM Qatar branch. Today's topic is on heat stress in Qatar. What a good time this is. The law or the regulation requires that people should be trained in the month of May before the onslaught of the summer. And we are very proper, in the right month for people to understand. And I'm going to share a lot of things about what is heat stress in Qatar. Before I start, I would want you to remind you to ensure that whatever questions you have, please put it in the chat box. We will review all the questions later based on whatever the time limits are there. The webinar may take approximately 1 hour. So I hope you enjoy, and please keep up the questions also. Having said this, I want to start with our team members. I have some Qatar branch committee members. My name is Rock Dikuna, the chairperson. There is Tahir Faruqi, who is the vice chair. There is Harun Rashid, who is a CPD committee member. There is Imam Hussein, and a CPD committee member. And there is the Alwar Ravira, who is the secretary. This is the committee member. And if you are facing any problem, please be open, to join the membership or join these webinars and all. Please let us know. I know last time we had some technical issue, but please speak and please let us know, and we are here to help you. So let me begin the training. I would start with, a very important quote that it is saying heat stress is preventable. Means you don't have to worry. It is there. You can manage it. It is possible. It's not something beyond human, thinking, or solutions not there. And we must be aware of what are the options. So one key thing is the awareness. The second thing is you need to keep continuous monitoring, and you must take the certain precautions and all, which will save life, surely. And I'm talking about life because it's all about, people even dying because of heat stress or not managing, not directly, but maybe even indirectly. You may not know that people's their consciousness or their thinking capacity or their weakness, everything gets impacted. So we go through and we come to know that heat stress is preventable. One thing I would begin with is that heat stress in Qatar, it is the best in the world. This is not by me alone. I've been passionate about reading about heat stress since years, I tell you. I was working for Qatar Steel. So in steel plant, heat is there, right through from melting process to casting process and rolling mills. And there were a lot of incidences. And we had to do really good work, uh, good methods of trying to control, and we really managed it at that time. There were many factors, but that was long back, maybe, much before the World Cup and before Qatar came out with really good legislations. They touch the, core things. They, in the hierarchy of control, they touch the elimination round. No working hot summer outside. And they even touch two things are very close to me, my understanding. One is the timings and the avoiding to work in the heat, the elimination round. And second thing is empowering the worker to, remove themselves out of danger, do self-evaluation. And these two things really add a lot to what I don't think any country is, even, it's not my own saying. ILO, I've been attending meetings with them, and in ILO, they themselves mentioned that this is the best in the world. So you will know why it is the best in the world. It has got, a lot of campaigns, awareness, rules, regulations, monitoring, everything. Say it, be it, it is there. So one of the things is they went into even the technical part of it. they worked with great organizations like ILO, and then the topmost committee, Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, they were involved in it. It's not like, some small subsidiary. And once big ILO and Supreme Committee are involved, they really came out with real good control measures, good legislation, and they even, used the study. It was implemented by specialists. It was from the university from Thessaly in Greece. And they came out even with a lot of welfare facility initiatives during the World Cup. Uh, you go through those links and all, then what does definition talks about? Work, heat stress. Heat stress is talking about, it occurs when the body fails to maintain its normal temperature. So a body, our human body, it needs to maintain a certain temperature so that it will, all its functions work properly. To the physical effort made while exposed to high temperatures combined with humidity. This is a very strong thing. It's not only high temperature, but how humidity can affect, or many other things can affect. So we need to one by one. So yeah, we have to look at how it is the high temperatures will affect, and with humidity, how it can become worse. And you see in the photo, I will tell you later, the blood, like becoming thick like jelly. So we will keep in mind that photo. When you sweat a lot, actually, in short, you lose lot of body water. When you lose water means actually you lose the blood which contains the water. What happens when you lose lot of water in the blood that you contain, that contains the water? Your blood becomes thicker. It becomes like gel, or it becomes more very difficult to even do its normal routine circulation in the body for all the body parts to work. And then I was just thinking, there is no scientific background, but I can say very clear, there is a linkage that it may affect the heart, heat stroke. So yes, so you must think about the best solution. Again, hydrate, fill it with water, because blood needs to circulate. It gives the nutrients and the signals for to the brains. So it requires the oxygen and the nutrients, and it helps in functioning of all the organs. So you can understand why that water in the blood or the loss of water makes a big impact. So this heat stress can affect by direct sunlight, that is for like agriculture or for construction workers, or it can work even in people working in indoors where they are working under like a steel plant where they are uh, working under hot machines or hot environments. It could lead to illnesses due to malfunctioning of the parts of the parts in charge of the regulating the body temperature. It can be leading to many problems, health problems. We will go through the slides. Uh, the workplaces can be, where workers need, the definition for workplaces where workers need to be or go to by reasons of their work. So this is the main thing. This is the generic definition is down, but we will stick to Qatar article like one. Then there is statistics actually in the world. Uh, Earlier I was thinking it is very difficult to look at statistics. So these are like a lot of people do die. So when you are vulnerable, the elderly, then you need acclimatization, you need normal summer temperature to be understanding. Uh, the objective of this webinar is to gain knowledge and understanding of heat stress. You know that you can manage heat stress prevention through proper identification, evaluation, controls, and looking at the how you physiological stress could be due to excessive heat also. So what are my references? Yes, we have the MOPH guidelines, heat stress booklet. We have the MAD LSA Madrasa, uh, legislation talking about 17 number, law number 17 to protect workers from hazards such as heat stress, chemical exposure, and workplace injuries. There is Qatar labor law also. Now 14 talks about it, and there is ILO guidelines also. To some extent, you have even QCS 2014 talking about heat stress. So there is all these factors are there. But law number 17 supersedes everything. So it is a really a depth and in detail mentioned details about heat stress. You can see one of the things is you should know that why Qatar, yes, because summer temperatures range from 33 to 50 degrees centigrade, and there can be it is a combined with sometimes high humidity, so this affects it more. So we cannot focus only on temperature, but even on humidity. We need to look at the most impacted people are outdoor workers or construction workers or like any industry that has environment that is related to heat. Qatar occupational heat stress legislation, we spoke about it to the law number 17. It talks about to protect the workers from the dangers of heat stress during summer. It laid down something, very remarkable. From June 1st to September 15th, outdoor working will be banned from a certain time, 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Now, this is a great initiative made by Qatar. That's why it's one of the reasons why it's the best in the world. They even went on to do just not make the law, to make it, they included inspections. So there were like, the inspections, action plans mentioned something about people to know the guidelines or the questions, and they used many languages to explain, because it's one thing is to know and one thing is to read and understand in the language that you understand best. So awareness campaigns were put across. Even the regulators, the inspectors were trained to how to use the device, how to check when they come on your site, and if it exceeds 32.1, then they need to take necessary actions. It covered, all the regions in the Qatar, different areas. There were, many actions also taken for breaching this law, and some industries or workplaces were closed down, sometimes in the whole or sometime in a part. So these are the statistics which talk about some breached and closed sites center. Any violation, this is the samples which are there. It can be anything. The inspectors were checking into they're even looking at the signages and all. So your posters and all put, they laid down a lot of things. Now coming back to the next topic, why do we need to manage heat stress? If we need to understand that there is some effect because of heat stress, and it can go to extreme heat stroke, starting with heat fatigue, and it can end up with heat stroke. Heat stroke is killer, it kills. So these are some samples where we talk about fatigue, then rash, these are little minor level. There is a cramp, which is minor. Then comes like the collapse or the exhaustion or the stroke. Now, these are the dangerous ones, So there are different phases. We need to manage them. The mild ones are heat fatigue, rash, and cramp with different symptoms, but different time durations. There is moderate collapse or exhaustion, which again means due to weakness or dizziness or nausea or sweating for 4 hours of plus 4 hours. But the last one is where the heat stroke is. The reason of dying maybe not only is because of confusion, loss of consciousness, or maybe not able to take right decision. So yes, I would like to just look at the highest risk. We're talking about the heat stroke. There is the symptoms could be high body temperature, confusion, dizziness, disorientation, headache, nausea, and vomiting. Heartbeat. Yes, it is connected to heartbeat. It is due to heat stress. It can be strong or it can be weak depending on individuals. We come little later on that part when we talk about individual. There is red, hot, dry skin. Muscle cramps can happen. Weaknesses can happen. Loss of consciousness or fainting, shallow or deep rapid breathing. Sometimes it could go to seizures also. Uh, the best thing what we need to look at is early recognition and immediate action needed, because you if you do not recognize and if you don't take prompt actions, it can lead to fatality. So the first best option is to call 999, the emergency number. Then immediately you need to bring the temperature down. It's like cause and effect. You know, it's because of heat stress. You have to reduce the temperature, take that person to the shaded area or an air conditioned area. You can remove excessive clothing. The reason for excessive clothing means to allow transmission of that cold to the hot body. So remove after keeping it in the cold area. You can apply cold water or ice packs to the neck, armpits, and groin. These are the areas which actually are sensitive. So it will help to reduce the temperature, and fanning also by or misting with water. These things will also help in reducing or bringing down the temperature. This is a lot about it. It affects many parts, including the brain also, or the heart. So you can see the blood circulation also affecting. Yes, the skin is there a little bit. Once it affects the brain or the nervous system, a lot of your decisions or confusion, awareness, everything happens. Renal system, digestive system, and muscles will be there. Uh, there could be actually broadly breaking it into three parts. One is the personal or human level, one is the environmental, and one is the activity. Three fronts we need to manage. Environment is the main reason, so I would start with the environment because heat is coming from the environment. So it's environmental heat is body absorbs the heat from the surrounding environment, whether it is in the hot sun or in a hot atmosphere or environment or work area. So we normally have to use the instrument as WGT global, which measures into the global temperature, air velocity, air temperature, and relative humidity. So what does WBGT means, right? It will be index which is designing to look into certain factors. What are the factors? It will look into high air temperature. It's automated. You can have that meter with you. So it will look into high air temperature. It will look at the radiant heat around there. Or then it will look at the air velocity or wind speed or airflow, which is there, which will again impact. And how they will look into even the radiant or relative humidity, which makes sweating less effective. So this is how the link happens. Humidity is there, sweating will be less, cooling will be less, the effect of heat will be more. So all these parameters will be like all combined. That's why this method was adopted as the earlier only you could measure only with your heat temperature mechanism, but now no, you need to look at the wet bulb global temperature way of assessing it. There are different ways. We will not go deep into it. I have to cover almost 100 slides in 1 hour. So you have to look at this natural wet bulb temperature. There is the global temperature, the air temperature. The formula that is generally used is uh, it is like 0.7 the TW plus 0.2 TG plus 0.1 TA. Now these things are generic, but what the law says, for outdoor it is separate, indoor it is separate. So we have these formulas. This is if you are trying to understand how it works. Otherwise, you get automated things. Sometimes you may have a problem with relating to which one your device is working properly. It needs to be calibrated. So whether it's working properly or not, you can look at two devices, or you can consult the ministry also to know something about it. So these are the different ways of calculation if needs to know. Then you have to look at also the levels, like for recording the thing. So level of occupational heat, they have been graded as per the no heat stress, then low, moderate, high, and extreme. There are certain temperatures here, but now these are only temperatures. Remember, this is not about the total, many factors included in that. That's why you have to keep this WBGT in mind, but you along with that you have to manage many other things. It's simply said that even human factors, like a car, like a Maruti car or Nissan car or Mercedes or these, they differ. They have different engines or different make safety factors built in or different luxuries or something. So there are different things to be considered. Same thing will not work for in the same way for everyone or everybody. Each individual has got a different immune system, a different heart, a different resistance, different acclimatization, different resistance, different mental health, physical health. So there are many, many factors. So this is just, you should know that these are the temperatures which are considered where extreme. Anything above 32.1 is considered extreme and it is a danger zone for the index. This is also, you can put it as a chart. Then there is the, yeah, you will look at how you should be. I told you, only that is not sufficient. I put everything that could be required in a proper control measures, and it is a combination of everything that will make it effective. So one of the things is you need to give sufficient work rest. And this responsibility is with the supervisor. So the legislation is very clear. The supervisor should enforce. It's not about, there is some fixed thing, but he has to ensure that the rest are taken by people. So schedule breaks regularly based on consultation with workers. Now, this is underlining what. It's not about pre-plan, nothing like that. You need to consult with the workers because this is a very fluid environment. Heat, temperature, humidity comes, goes, reduces out. So you need to look at a particular given position, particular environment, particular activity, particular person also. So in consultation with workers, breaks should be there. You must enforce, monitor that these breaks are taken, and these are like just sample. At 31 degrees, you should have around 15 to 30 minutes every hour of a work shift. So this again is the table ground below, which says is again, I told you there are many factors. So one is those workers who are used to heat. Acclimatization means those workers who are used to heat, working under it. Another person may not get used to it, his body is not used to it. Maybe he's healthy and everything, but not used to it, which will affect that person differently. So you have to categorize two parts. So there is the upper part, your acclimatization of workers, non-acclimatized workers, So the durations may be varying, the temperature may be varying. Again, then what you need to look at, even the water, drinking of water means you are sweating. So water is going less in your blood. Actually, I would replace water with blood. I won't say blood is coming out, but the water in the blood comes out. So that's how serious it is. So you need to fill that blood with water, or your system with water. So hydration recommendations, you can start with 500 ml with right to up to even 1.5 liters per hour. So it depends on what is coming out, has to be refilled. So these again will be different. Then there is work rate also, or metabolic, or the work rate where what is the task that is being done. So I told you three main: person, environment, and the activity. Activity, we can replace that word activity with metabolic rate, or how much of heat is generated because of that work activity. That thing also need to be considered. So there is environmental heat coming in, individual own capacity, but the activity that is performing is also generating heat within a person. So there are different resting time, right weight, what is considered as right weight, what is considered as moderate work, heavy work, or very heavy work. So these are like different categories of work put, uh, it is very important also that the measurement, whatever is taken by the device, should be taken near the worker, because we have to understand that the worker is getting impacted. If I take the measurement behind a wall or something, barriers are there, or in a cold area, it will be different. So it's not only about what you are doing, but how you are doing also the measurement. So I can say I'm complying, I'm taking measurement. No, you need to look at where you will take the measurement also. So the guidance is that the equipment, the measuring equipment should be kept 1.5 meters from the floor. Means it is coming almost close to the person's, the face, or the sensors, or the breathing, or the thing. So it won't be, means the, the upper part of the body is needs to be checked at that level. Then it should be even the distance level 2 meter away. So the heat can be, the more closer it is, the more the change again will vary. So keeping up the equipment at a proper place also matters. Then it's changing. We told you it's very fluid and volatile. Now you will see it's dynamic also. So you need to sample it periodically. So this is the chart given where you have to keep it 1.5 meters. So it comes to the upper part of the body, and a distance from whatever the heat source may be. So it should be around 2 meters. You must not keep it on the shade or something, or close, you near the water or something. You need to look at it and measure it over a 1 hour period. So over a total 1 hour period, you need to take maximum heat stress, that is generally in the midday. Again, you can take this during the morning or evening. It will be less heat. So the best way of measuring is on the midday, when the heat is maximum. That is the best way to know. So heat generating, it can be near the heat generating equipment is in operation. You need to take at intervals of every 5 minutes. So in total, if you're taking every 5 minutes for 1 hour, you will automatically get to 12 samples for 1 hour. So you have to take it at different areas where people are working. So at specific areas means at different areas to check, measure. So that area is suitable for that people, that person. Then. So you can make a table sort of thing like this. I just made one sample. So you have every 5 minutes up to 1 hour, that is 60 minutes. And you can write down this in one area, then go and write on another area, write down the conditions of measuring. These are the things. Now, very important, this is only measuring to understand what is the gravity of it. The control measures are very important. We put it in a hierarchy of controls. It starts with elimination, then substitution. These are the two main, very important ones. Uh, you have to look at it like, different. When we say elimination, move operations indoors or into a climate control environment. So you are, the main source is the outdoor heat, or the equipment that is, the generation, the heat production, like maybe steel plant production, it generates heat also. So it can be like that. So sun is a one thing that generates and gives outdoor, but maybe some processes may be affecting. So you need to move away from that. You are automatically eliminating. One of the best way to do this indoors and all. That's why the law saying not to work outdoors for these so many months, from June to September, and during the peak summers, how effective it is. You can just understand. It's one of its kind in the world. So substitution is again trying to find out different alternatives. You trying to put different protective equipment, clothing. I know one person, he wanted something to cover the heat of his whole body. Unknowingly, He was of a labor caste, so he didn't know exactly. He just wanted to cover. People when they play in the sun, they cover their with full sleeve or some tight skin clothes or something like that. So protective clothing are put. That person put the summer wool cloth to light full clothing, and that made him to sweat more, and then finally he even went to fainting. So protective clothing is also so very important. Or you can look at alternative cooling methods. Like you can have, instead of a fan, and air condition. It depends on the risk level that you find the solutions that are. You can even rotate people. These are like substitution from a hard work to heat-oriented work to a less heat. That's like a rotation method. So the best one for elimination, prohibited to work in during these months, during the hot time from 10 a.m. to 12:30. This is the best of the best, I call it. Then there is the outdoor working, means how it is. It is defining what is outdoor work. It is very clear. You're exposed to weather conditions which may be affecting you with solar or heat from some equipment or process. And finally, it is about humidity also that we be counting. Uh, Two of the main factors they considered, and very important factors, are whether it is direct sun. So when it is direct sun means whether your outdoor work is shaded, then automatically it's like a barrier. You are having a barrier, the direct sun is not impacting you. And then there is the ventilation. The ventilation we mentioned is like if a cool breeze air passes and all, the heat is transferred from and automatically the impact is reduced. So there are two important factors uh, considered are shaded and ventilated. So in this case, it is shaded and it is a very cool area. So there is there is nothing hot in the process. It's a process area. So in the process cool area, it is green. So it is mentioned in both. But if you say that this is the area is shaded but not ventilated, then there is a problem. So you have to look at proper ventilation and system. So here there were fans were put. So you need shaded as well as ventilation. So if ventilation is not there, it is declared unsafe. Then again, in this case, there is a shade here in construction, there is a fan. So this sounds good and all. But now you see this also area, there is some warehousing, there is a shade, there are fans, there are ceiling or portable fans, and also it's good area. It is both shaded and ventilated. But in this case, if you see, like there is again activities are going on, and there is a shade and there is a fan. So this is also considered good enough. Now, what is not good here is the fans ventilation is missing. So what we need to look at as is like the area is shaded but not ventilated. So both factors, very simply said, you need shade and you need ventilation. This is green. This is not green because there is no ventilation here. Machine is there, or work is there. So again, here not allowed because no ventilation. Shade is there. You need both combination. Then the next very important law is saying it's not like talking in closed doors. I like this thing when it was first introduced. It is saying very clearly you will be planning your day and the working hours and not keep it anywhere. Declare it openly. Sign. When you say declare decision means somebody top person is signing that document and it is to be put on display. And if it is not on display, labor inspector can put some regulatory issues. Then you need to look at in automation or elimination round is there is also where you will try to reduce the work related heat, activity related heat. So the more you do manual job, you will be requiring more heat being generated in your body. So you to reduce that, you must try to use all mechanized work better. Then there is another very important thing. Uh, the work schedule is you can do this is like a substitution where you are trying to schedule the work during the cooler time. It is also elimination round, and like where it is saying that the sun is not going to be there, or the like for construction workers specifically. For industrial processes, it will be there, whether it is day or night. But like steel plant produces all the three shifts, it will be there. But this is for more for construction worker, where you have a possibility to do the work in the night rather than in the day, or when the heat is less. So not exactly night, but in the middle from 14 to 4 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the midnight. It is like offers the optimum combination of low occupational heat stress and limited risk of sleep deprivation. This is considered also that we should not reduce not deprive people from the sleep also, which can lead to chronic acute or chronic fatigue and risk of accidents also happening. So a proper balance has to be maintained. Sometimes you may have to change the process using induction heat instead of open frames, or replace manual with automation, or shift work to cool hours, or modify work to reduce heat exposure. Heat exposure, you can consider alternative cooling methods, changing material or equipment with some insulations and all. The next engineering control is about you need to have breaks, and in those breaks you need to keep them cooling. So it is not continuous hot. So they are getting that cool, the body cools down. So cooling station will be some rest area. You can, in that rest area, you can have something to hydrate and to keep the cool down. Usually in construction, outdoors, sports events, you can have these. One of the things is it should be shaded. We said shaded and ventilation is a must. So shaded or air conditioned areas, it should be there, this resting place. Place netting, sometimes if it is open and not air conditioned, you can have a netting from all sides so that direct sunlight will not come in. The green color net and all people put. Make rest areas from wood because of insulation. Heat should not pass through metal or something, so wood or some non-conductor. Cold water should be there. Dispensers should be there to cool the body from within. Fans or misting or electrolyte drinks also can be provided, uh, but this has to be controlled in a way to understand how much and what is, whether a person is allergic or what is suitable for him. It should be constructed near to the work area, because people may not want to go if it is very far away. So your rest area should be near. There should be proper signages in different languages, and it should be able to accommodate 50% of the workforce. There should be seating arrangement, and even an emergency response kit. So all these are required for a cooling station, which will enhance your for managing heat stress. The shaded areas, these are just samples, right? Then the next from shade is ventilation. There are different ventilation types: natural ventilation with vents and opening for airflow with the net, of course. Mechanical ventilation by fans, ducts, or ACs. Hybrid ventilation with combining both, or sometimes spot ventilation, like in a very particular cooking area, kitchen area, where a person is cooking and is exposed to it. Only to him, whole building ventilation can be there for people, for the entire building to be getting the ventilation system, because ventilation removes pollution, improves oxygen level, regulates humidity, and gives you a thermal comfort, a comfort which is good for you not to get impacted with the heat stress. Uh, when you are using, you must use some industrial fans, some type of barriers, because any barrier will be not allowing the heat transmission to happen easily, and proper barriers, so that it is insulated and the heat is not transferred from adjacent areas and all. You can put some shield or insulation or reflectors, or even you can put some uh, sandwich panels on the rooftop to ensure that the heat doesn't come from top down, or wood you can put. Then you can have other engineering controls will be like if there is glare or sunlight in an operational area, you can put some to remove the glare options, shading, like put shaded operating positions or not. Now let's go to the administrative control. These elimination and engineering and substitutions are very important. They are the core things to manage. Then only when you cannot manage with these all the things, then you can look for the option for administrative. One of the way to do administrative is to see that the law requires this, that you should have a risk assessment, a risk assessment for identifying the temperature areas. So since this is a risk assessment for heat stress, so you should know where the temperature areas are there, what activities are affecting the heat stress, and identify who is at risk, and also consider other core things which are fluid or which can be dynamic or changing, like a confined space. So you should include that. Work at height, because a person on the ground when he's unconscious, or when he's not able to fatigue or something, is different from when he's at a height, he might fall down. So work at height differently, work near a hot machine is different. So we need to look at that, how we manage those things. These are just the different steps of risk assessment. I will not go because you into depth of this. You know what is risk assessment? It's a very big topic. We can have one day only to teach this part. It's a very important part. So just the first step is to identify the hazard. Second, who might be harmed. Then it is how to give a evaluation of the risk and find out what is the severity and the likelihood, and now what are the controls you can have and what new controls you need to put. Once you have that record, who is responsible for implementing which control measure for within a target time frame. Means what is there good enough, but what is not there needs to be assigned. This is a standard format for risk assessment, and you should record, monitor, and review to keep it updated and fit for purpose. So these are the 5 steps and the matrix. These risk assessment is industry specific. You don't need to make specific one. Whatever it's a mandatory by law also to have a risk assessments for people, bigger industries more than 5. So if that is the case, you can design your metrics, your scoring points, your way of presenting. So these are some of the points. You can go through those points. Uh, like I initially mentioned, that main causes are broadly speaking into 3 categories. It is an individual person, it is the environment that is there, and even the process. So sometimes you need to manage the process, sometimes you have to manage the environment, sometimes you have to manage the person. So 3 different levels, 3 different things. We will cover each in different. We have covered the environment part, the measurement of the WBGT. It's about the air temperature, airflow, humidity, and radiant heat. We have little bit covered, little bit only, but we will cover in detail about personnel and about how to manage the activities. To some extent, we covered this duration of exposure also, but we'll cover further. Now, this is another very, very important thing. It gives you the empowerment for a worker, because only he can know what is happening within his body. And you can't wait for supervisors to tell or to decide also. So it is giving the decision for an individual for self-evaluation. This is really one of the classic control measures you see. Encouraging workers, but this cannot happen easily. For self-evaluation, you need to have a very good, effective training. If the training is there, if they know about it, they will do it. Most of the time, if there are effects or still are incidents happening, it's because the effectiveness of the training is not there. Yes, training on records will be there, but are they effective is a big challenge. If a person knows about things of how to control, even a small baby knows that it is hot, he will not go there. He will not touch that thing. Even an animal who doesn't, knows once, maybe first time he doesn't know, but once he knows, he's taught, like the cub is taught by the mother, all animals, monkey, lion, all, when they are trained, they know what to do and what not to do. So a training is so very important. Self-evaluation is coming from the training itself. What it needs to do is that we need to monitor, the workers must be able to monitor their own health. So yeah, it fits very right that safety is everybody's responsibility. So it includes everyone. So every person is individually is important as an individual. So yeah, it is monitor their own health, enabling the workers for self-pace of their work by taking rest periods when needed. Now, this is very important. When they're saying rest period when needed means there will be some standard, like, say 1 hour, every 1 hour, 15 minutes. But yeah, this server version is giving over and above special condition for an individual. They can say that, yes, you're giving 15 minutes, but I will take another 20 minutes. I'm not feeling well. So I'm not, because it is for the day. As we go further, you will come to know. It's even for the day, not for the standard thing. There is nothing called standard. For the day, that person can say, I need more rest. So to set flexible work targets, to take spontaneous break whenever they feel right, as they see fit, excluding the planned breaks. So the planned breaks, the law is saying you keep planned breaks time enough, but you need to give this workers self evaluating and asking for breaks. The right of workers to remove themselves from specific situation means if they feel they cannot manage, they must be having the power to say, I don't want to work there. I'm not feeling okay. So nobody has to. So the person will know the signs and symptoms of heat stress within themselves, because this is about inside, within. When I'm saying within, I remember when I was doing research on this steel, when I was in steel plant, when I was researching, I went into these different phases, different times researching. They put even some capsules inside the body, which are, sensing the heat, and those heat, or they take some time the sensitive areas also for touching, sensing the temperature of the body. So even in the body, the temperatures are at different points, different. So that is all about human body. It's like having different engines. You can say Toyota engine or Mitsubishi engine or Mercedes or engine. So each body part is different. So we need to look at how the internal body is working. Only that worker knows about it. Now, very important, it's on that day, one day itself, that day. So that day we have to look at for him to remove out or to say or to take rest, depends on many factors. Maybe he's under depression, maybe he's under stress, he's under alcohol, or he did not sleep well, or his age is there, and because of that there is some blood pressure flow or something. He can even have issues related to water or some PP which is affecting him, or even maybe pregnancy or some diarrhea, vomiting, where the water loss is more, or respiratory infections, or overweight. So there are so many factors involved in this. So we have to look at, individual person has to look at this in a different way. Medications, if he has taken some medications, it will affect there also. Some medications make it more worse for an individual. There is not only an individual, the environment. This photo says reflected heat, direct heat, evaporation, the radiation, this is the heat transfer by radiation, by convection, or by conduction in the areas. So we have to look at even the activities, the third part. Activities are, you have to look at what is the frequency of exposure and what is the duration of exposure and what type of work he's doing, the physicality of the work and all. So, even the work generates heat, metabolic heat. The body generates heat through the digestion of food also, or because of the work, or because of some games also. Exercises, like, I've seen, one video where a person, collapsed because of playing football, and you can have heat being generated within also. So you need to look at, when we come to work wise, you have to look at the workload also. This is just a table showing increase. You have the best solution is many hands make work right. This is what it means. So when there is some work which is not managed by the number of people or by those individuals, I will call it. So then you need to increase it. Right work, moderate work. These are putting under different categories. Need to provide water, even to the extent the law says buses. Like I just came across that. Don't Then they are saying don't take salt tablets because this is not universally allowed. Because somebody may have a problem with salt or allergy. Only doctors can prescribe that. So yes, you should call 999. You go to there and try to check that part of it also. Encourage people to drink cold water. Give them ice box or drink water with, the waters. There are different levels, different waters to keep yourself hydration. Acclimatization is another thing. It talks about getting used to the temperature. Two things is usually put into three category. Usually it will be a new person who joins. He may not, his body is not used to it. So you must give him time to get adjusted slowly. The law, yeah, requires 2 weeks. USA, the laws are different from other countries. So you have to be specific to Qatar country. So they have made a good intensive research. So the best time for acclimatization for new worker is 2 weeks over here prescribed. Those who are, experienced workers also with previous experience in their job, but had time away from the heat, they can have like 50% exposure on the first day, slowly for not necessarily 2 weeks, but 4 days. So this is again depending on for how those who are coming from vacation or something, or acclimatized workers who experience of a sudden change in the work site. Suddenly, you are sitting and working in the cold area, and then now you're told to be out in the hot area. It is a little bit challenging. You need to look at this factor also. This again is not based on fixed standard rules. It again, I told you which engine it is, whether he's got Mitsubishi engine or he's got uh, you know the top brands or something. Each body is different, so each person is different. So you need to look at how it will be working. This is a chart showing about experience of new workers. New workers will take exactly 14 days to a year, and maybe the senior person can work on the fourth day. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are ready to work full time. Right? So this is a chart given. First day, little bit the heat you can manage. The second day it will go a little bit more. Third, 10th day it will go 3 hours, and by the 2 weeks, a new worker can be fit to work there full time. Then there is another control measure called communication. You can have some way of, the way you put a flag system or something that people need to come out, have a generic break or something when it is danger, because temperature changes suddenly also. It's like, very, very important nowadays with global warming and climate change happening, and, the earth, demand for on the earth with operations, production, usage, and everything. That's a little bit more on environmental studies, but it is required all the more important now than ever before. So we need to look at this. Then there is a control system called buddy system. In the buddy system, we talk about, you need to have another person with you, a buddy. A buddy, but remember, most of the time, even I had this wrong notion. A buddy system means two people working together. Two hands, two or four hands make work lighter. No, this buddy system is not that. It means that one person will work, the other person will be monitoring, because when this can affect, how it will affect maybe that person also, it takes time. The parts are more effective, but for it to reach the brains and to make you to sense, sometimes you won't even know that you are feeling the thirst. You might, after collapsing, you will want to water. So it takes a little more time. There is a time gap between the two, like from your body part to the brain part. So this thing, sometimes you need a buddy system, a person who like or workers monitoring each other for early heat signs. No. Yes, buddy system also means to some extent that uh, both should look at each other. Means both can work a little bit and both, but like one must not ignore that the other person is feeling sick and we should time to take a break. You need to take a break. So you can have both doing work and both taking care of each other. That option is there. Then employee rotation. Uh, Sometimes you need to know that a person is, worked hard in suppose one area. I remember working in Southeast Asia. If you have worked hard in a steel plant, next day you are put in a cold area in some stores or something. So because you need to recover your salt loss, your weakness, so you need to rotate the workers with different types of jobs so that they can cover. Then you can check the urine mechanism. The urine will also tell you that you need to drink sufficient water or you are actually dehydrated or not. It tells you. There's one way to do it. Uh, Hydration level, you can check, and how much water you need to do can be again varying from individual to individual. This is a standard like 2 to 3 cups, different temperatures, different ways. Uh, Another way to do look at is the diet. In the diet, yes, your different foods give you different heat levels also and digestion. So best thing is eat small regular meals instead of one heavy single meal. Heavy means in the sense of you don't eat all totally non-veg or something. So you need to eat cool, liquidish or a food that is good for you, suitable for temperature related to heat level. Another thing came up is about the annual health checkup. For those who are requiring employees to perform checkups to diagnose and assess and manage chronic diseases. This is talking about chronic diseases that may contribute to the risk of heat stress. So if you know there is a chronic disease, then first thing in the medical examination should be at no cost, and then there should be a record kept of these. And the main two things they normally look at is blood pressure, hypertension, or also diabetes. And it depends again if these people are there with these illnesses, they need to be given some other task because they getting affected is more bigger chance. Then there is, of course, posting and signages at work. You can put in different ways. You can have a campaign also on heat stress. It really is effective to have a campaign. You can have different posters put in different ways by MOPH also has given there. Then there is this should be in different languages also, the signages and posters. Trainings, yes. Again, training should be in different languages uh, so that the workers understand best in the language they know the best. So this thing, but very important is it should be done in the beginning of the month of May. So what a date and what a time this training is put. So ensure in your workplaces also, if you want to meet compliance, you have to do it in the month of May of each year. Educate workers about the heat stress, preventions, the early warning signs. These are very important because the law says they must be able to do self-evaluation. So early warning signs of heat stress in themselves also. Supervisions are required to ensure that they are doing the proper monitoring, educating, especially by the toolbox talk. So the supervisors need to provide the toolbox talk about all heat related things and how they can manage it. They can have generic periodic safety talks also. Then this is again another very, very strong new thing that was put, that it's about compliance. Anybody finds that any organization is not following the heat stress rules, they can report to 16008, a helpline kept, and once you call this, even your name will be kept confidential. Nobody will know anything, and there will be a site inspection. So this has brought a big changes in the way, the mindset of how organizations operate. So inspections are done. You can report this thing, but you can come out of the case also. When you are moving out of the work by due to self-evaluation, you must inform your supervisor, because work should not suffer. So remember, don't only come out, but also inform. This is very important, and nobody will dismiss that worker. So then there should be a monitoring from an HSC officer level. So HSC is responsible again for monitoring all the things, all what we discussed. Then you have to look at how the workers, they must also follow the same, because they are trained. They know, you have the records of their training and understanding. They must follow the protocols, report symptoms, and take necessary precaution to prevent on that. Then there is responsibility kept with, suppose there is some gray area. This is my area, this is your area. Then if there are two contractors, no need to worry. The responsibility is with the main contractor. So automatically it comes under like who has to do what and all. They have to take it up. Then there should be employer's responsibility. These are like, you should have proper policies, procedures, proper defined roles and responsibilities, proper programs, prevention programs or heat stress programs. You can have fatigue management. Very, very important. You can have an internal audit mechanism. I found this the most effective way. Then defining the policy. From the regulators, it's better that you do yourself, to not be audit yourself, to audit, audit, what's the thing one very good thing? The workers, people there, everybody how to do. You can have a reporting and investigation mechanism. This is also a good control measure. Last, after all the administrative controls, PPE, you can have the PPE with the proper PPE suitable, the access, the suitability. You must look at whether the PPE is suitable to the working place. To the PPE is the last barrier of control. So sometimes you may require, in a mountain area, you may be requiring this ice jacket. This is a little like specific requirement. Sometimes you may require broader hat, sometimes gear, sometimes shield, sometimes special clothes. So you may require different PPE. Cream also may require. But one important thing I found really fantastic. It is not saying generic PPE. It is talking about, if we are saying all these things, but in a specific area, you may not be able to put that right clothes and all these things. We are talking about rules and right colored and right weight, minimum. You may have to put something little strong, like aluminum jacket or something, to to avoid for heat, hot metal spill and all that. Now, in those cases, you need to look at a special, clothing type, where if they are rated this way, even your WBGT from 32.1 will be increased more and more. So you can have limited use of vapor barrier, or you can add by one, or instead of 32.1, it will be 33.1. Or yeah, it will be 36, 32%, 35.1. So there are different ratings given even for a PP, how to do and what to wear, and other than this generic clothes, for generic construction or something. Then the last, after all the countermeasures, can be the emergency response, where the first aiders should be trained. Actually, if it is nurse, it won't be a problem. But if it is a first aider, they must also know specifically how to manage first aid or heat stress related issues. Conclusion, We also already said, again, I repeat, heat stress is preventable. You need proper awareness, proper monitoring, and precautions to save life. One of the famous quotes which I like is of Ralph Marston. It's saying, rest when you are weary, refresh and renew yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, and then get back to work. Means it is like take breaks, get yourself fit, and then start work. So this is not generic. It is for every day, every time. So every day is a chance to change yourself. You need to think every day differently. So danger, protect yourself from heat stress. Um, the heat is on, stay hydrated. You are not thinking if you are not drinking. Heat stroke can kill, so get hydrated and chill. With this, I am open to any question and answer. Uh, you are free to ask me questions. I hope you all enjoyed the training.
Hello. Yes, there are some questions for you. If you want to open up the chat and scroll up, there's 5
Yeah.
questions for you. You'll be able to see the first one that is labeled number 1. They got put in the Q&A, so I've posted them in the chat for you.
Which is the first question?
What about critical operations that you can not stop or respect the break time, e.g. chopper, refueling or crane operations, etc.? If you take a break of 45 to 60 minutes per hour, literally, you will stop the operation just after starting it, which is neither business justified nor safe.
Yeah, this is a very good question, a challenging question, which everybody faces. If we don't abide by this, there will be two things. When we say compliance, it means you don't have a choice. You can modify your policies because they are own policies. You can modify your procedures. You can modify. There are things which are under your control, like the trainings or anything. You can do those things to enhance your system for compliance. Uh, I break it up into conformity and compliance. Conformity is you can change it and conform to compliance, but you can't go below compliance. So if there is nothing saying that you need to put a specific break for specific time if you are managing the risk with other control measures. So you can put a proper AC or have a proper cooling system, and then if that heat is not reaching that level, those breaks are not required. So look at first thing is look at an overall perspective. Uh, if we have there are different rules for outdoor work, different rules for indoor work. In the outdoor works, again, rules are different for shaded and ventilated and human persons and all. Yeah, if you feel that that person is not able to do the work and you are not giving him break, you are telling that you are ready to sacrifice him or he might get impacted. You may have bigger business losses because if he cannot decide, he's out of his consciousness or out of his inability to think properly or collapse or something, he will do bigger harm than just the brain. So it's all about risk, not only risk assessment, risk management. What do you manage? How do you manage? There are always many options. You can give them the best of the control measures, which will reduce the heat, and then there is you have to justify that there was no heat loss or heat stress involved. So this is specific for heat stress. I hope I've answered. If your heat level is low, that person can work for longer time.
Great, thank you. So the next question is, nowadays there are alternative options to use wireless detection and monitoring. Is this something well known and widely introduced in Qatar?
There is, of course, in any field, there is like we call it evolution or evolving things, So things are going to change if there are more things, better things coming in. Yes, there are always more. It will enhance the system. When we are saying it is going to enhance the system, it will be, like now the AI is a new thing which has come up. So AI can help. I suppose this is my opinion. it will be anyway not contradicting the law. What I'm saying, the compliance is not your choice. Compliance means you need to only comply. Conformity is your choice to change or not to change, how much to change, what to do, how to do. But when we say the AI is going to help, if it is going to help, you are managing it more better with the latest technology. So it is fine, accepted.
Great, thank you. We're running short of time now, so I'm just going to ask 2 more questions. So this one is, are there any additional measures for acclimatization and gradual involvement into work after being away or absent for a considerable time? That might be a different topic, I'm not sure.
This was mentioned. If your point is away from time, is your body, can your body take that heat?
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah.
acclimatization is there
Yeah.
in that. And other than that, acclimatization, that is only one thing. But you are away and you got some sickness. It's a package. That's why I said each human body is meant. He has slept that day. He's not depressed. Then those factors also. So family, every day is a different day. So acclimatization is for the long distance. But even when they come, you need to follow the daily activities with toolbox talk and everything else.
Great, thank you. Fantastic answer. So the last question, are there any sources of information or databases available in Qatar about the heat stress-related cases, trends, and breakdowns?
Actually, there are 2 main documents which I already had shown. It is there in the public domain. So when it is in the public domain, it's available everyone. So what we need to do is, yes, each country has their own regulations. So when we talk about Qatar, we need to follow these guidelines. So this, I feel, is the law which is very effective. Madrasa number 17 for 2021. If you put it in the net, you can get this. It is law number 17 to protect workers from hazard and all. Other than this, these are all like supporting that manner. But you need to follow this. This has got the core things sitting under it. Elimination round and give empowering of the worker who is affected. So this is there. It's freely available. You can go to, if nothing, you can go to almizan.com where all the laws of Qatar are available, not only this. So that's the best place to go for laws and all.
Great, thank you. And that's all the questions. If you have any closing comments before I end today's webinar.
But thank you for hearing patiently with this. I hope you all enjoyed and got the best from this information. If there is something you would like to know, you can call me up, or IIRSM, we have this WhatsApp group. We can discuss it there also. Hope
Great.
you all enjoyed the training and got the maximum knowledge.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.